Hello everyone, and welcome to round 1 of the 120 SPM V 5 Girls 1 Grungler match here. We are starting here on Yukon. This is the NEBVEMBER tournament final game, played for 5th and 6th place. Winner of these 3 games will take 5th, loser will take 6th. This is the first, as I said before. Team 1 is 120 SPM, Team 2 OSP is going to be 5 Girls 1 Grungler. 120 SPM is Notes. Primrose's Notes, Bongi, Himars, and Mildly. Team 2, 5 Girls 1 Grungler. We have Mav, Cheese Slayer, Nucleari, and Quinto Bean. Taking a look at the deployments here, it appears that 120 SPM is going to go with the same strat they did last time on Blood Moon here, with the 6 Greedfords up top with some CLs low and cappers around the map. CLs are likely part of a half cap here. Yep, double CL half cap with some cappers around the map. 120 SPM going super heavy on the front line over the top of the ridge here on Yukon. To counter this, we see OSP is bringing, I'm seeing double more line. Interesting. I'm seeing one here and one here as well. Same name on both of these makes me think that maybe they're the same build. Probably the same build. Rest of the team appears to be all shuttles and maybe a tugboat here. Is this all Ruddles? This looks like all Ruddles. Alright. Looks like 5 Girls 1 Grungler is a little bit unhappy about that loss to CTE back in, round 1 there, where they lost to all Ruddles. It appears that they are, taking revenge, I should say. Unfortunately for them, the ANS team is a lot more built and prepared for dealing with this Ruddle rush. You have these likely Greedfords are going to have 120 secondaries, plus the CLs is going to be a lot for these Ruddles to chew through. We will see if they are able to do it. Ooh, I am wrong about the all Ruddles. This is a 120. What the fuck? Who got the... This is not 120 SPM. This is 5 Girls 1... Oh, this is Cheese Slayer. I was just gonna say, I'm like, who on 5 Girls 1 Grungler has access to that badge? This is Cheese, isn't it? Yep, okay. Anyway, let's take a look at what 120 SPM has brought. Up top, Bongi with the first pair of Axfords here. We have Carrier Backpack, 120 secondaries. The other one has a Comms Jammer. Alright, so the Carrier Backpack likely for defense. Probably some Jam offset Tontos in there, yep. And then the Comms Jammer, of course, as you would see. Himars comes in next with the CL half cap. Double CL low under A. Probably going to go for that A to 9 early on. Complementing this cap fleet, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gun cappers and 1 cringe capper already on its way to A point. Mildly here with the second pair of Greedfords. Looks like relatively same build to Bongi here. In fact, it is the same build, given the names. Once again, Carrier Backpack, Comms Jammer on the other one. And then Notes is up last. Slightly different one this time. We have a Comms Jammer and a VLS-2, likely with some Killjoys, active decoys, SDM-200s, you know the deal. SDM-200s... no Killjoys, but we do have some SDM-200s in there, which will be nice against any fighters. Unfortunately, there are no fighters. Anyway, both teams step onto their naturals. OSP steps onto their slightly faster thanks to the Sun Drive, although Himars is not far behind with their own cap here. Both teams going for C and E respectively here. Not really any deny tools out yet, although we see some shuttles rushing over to C. We'll take a look at those in a bit. Taking a look at 5 Girls 1 Grungler, we have Cheese Slayer here with the 250 liner cap fleet here. This is one of Cheese Slayer's standard builds here. I'm expecting these to be MMTs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 5 gun cappers, 1 cringe capper, and 2 torpedo tugs. Ooh, interesting. Sorry, 1 torpedo tug, 1 MMT by the looks of it. Interesting. Alright, so we will get to see some, interesting tech there from Cheese Slayer. Looks like Mav and Nucleari are taking the same fleet here. This appears to be it's a Mine CLN. It's a Mine CLN. Mine CLN with Ruddles. Nucleari is also running a Mine CLN with Ruddles. Quinto is running mine-laying Ruddles. I am going to fucking lose it. You gotta be kidding me right now. Alright, yep, okay. It's time for some mind games. Anyway, Mav rushing on to C point with one of the Ruddles there. This is only one of the half Ruddles. Probably just sacrificing him right now. Quinto attempts to do something with one of the Ruddles, gets found out by the Greedfords and takes some heavy fire there. VLS 23 is down. It's taking 450 for the most part. Does not look like the secondary batteries have swapped over. Looks like they are cycling. Yep, there they go. That's a lot of RPF that's going to go into this thing that is already really injured on the drives. There goes the drives, and that's going to be the pickoff pretty quickly there. Rockets go into HIMARS' capper on C. Not enough to kill initially, although the second salvo comes out here. Striking the front there. Cord, that's a mission-killed capper as OSP steps onto C point here. HIMARS does have another gun capper in the back here, although it probably is not going to be enough to kill this thing before it takes the cap, assuming that Mav is going to bow tank, which Mav has already begun to bow tank there. Mav just trying to get the kill confirmed on this thing. How is this thing fucking alive? Oh, it's an aux steering and a reactor and a radar. Okay. Taking a look at the board right now, B point has been mined. Lightning Squadron from Bongi with the 20mm nose gun flanking towards the mines, trying to do something to clear these the minefield on their natural. These are Matic mines with some co-ops in there as well. Piranha rockets attempted on the A-capper here. HIMARS starting to take some rocket fire there. One of them already going down, although they still have a second on the point that is still alive. Nucleari is trying to rush onto the point here. Although I believe that HIMARS is going to take it. Yep, HIMARS is going to take A there. As Mav is now engaging HIMARS. Still engaging HIMARS on C point here. HIMARS looks like they are sort of playing it safe with their other gun capper. Playing it at range, knowing that they don't need to rush. Cheese Slayer actually puts a gun capper on C point here that probably has the range to engage HIMARS right now. So theoretically, OSP should have the ability to kill the second capper from... Oh, but look at this. Primrose notes, steps back onto the C point with the Greedfords. The Greedfords are already splitting up, trying to resecure the C point here. OSP with an initial cap lead. Does allow them to take some early points here. They are going to try to step onto A to retake it, although they are going to likely die for it here. The Greedfords and the CLs are already in arc to stop this from happening, as no mines yet deployed on C. Doesn't look like OSP has really any intention to deploy mines there. Cheese Slayer is going to go down here. Same with Mav on the C point here. A is being capped. Nucleari steps onto the point here, although they are under heavy fire. I highly doubt that this thing is going to survive long enough to take the point, considering the amount of RPF going into it. There it goes. Yep. Damage control team gets killed there. CIC on 0% confirms the kill. Lightning Squadron doing a really good job of mopping up the mines on Boxer there. There is none left. More mine containers. No, this is one of the SSJ containers out to distract missile strikes. Wow, it looks like Quinto is going... No, Quinto. Nuclear RE is going to rush a Ruddle onto the point here. HIMARS does have another gun capper at long range here. Probably going to try to kill this thing at range. Lightning Squadron is completely ASF and defense. It's not really going to be doing much against the capper there. The Greedfords are starting to pull back towards Boxer here. They probably are anticipating the Boxer attempt. Yep, you can already see Nuclear RE is on track right now. The Axfords likely pivoting back to deny the point now that A has been relatively denied from the cap attempt here. Cheese Slayer's 250 liner gets a really sneaky ambush on the CLs here. Actually finds one broadside. It's not 450, so it's not going to be doing as much damage as you expect, although 250 HE into the side of a CL still hurts. Jamming is out to try and hide from the liner, but the liner already pulls back into cover there. Does lose its sun drive there, likely to Axford fire. I don't think that was the CLs doing that. Mines are being deployed on C point, although a little bit too late, as the Axfords and the Capper are already sort of stepping onto the point here. The 250 secondaries from the Axfords are going to clean up those mines pretty quickly, I would imagine. Nuclear RE manages to get to cover on Boxer, although they do know that those Greedfords are now overlooking the point there. They're going to make a cap attempt basically impossible. OSP doesn't really have any anti-capital munitions or any anti-capital equipment here to deal with those Greedfords. The Greedfords, all they really need to do is start getting onto points and hold them, and there's not really a whole lot OSP can do to dislodge. Unfortunately for OSP here, ANS took a really good team comp to deal with this mine strategy. Reactor Boom on A destroys all of the mines on the point, although they weren't really doing a whole lot considering that the point was not controlled by OSP. Mines are sort of desperately being thrown onto the C point here, probably just to try and get the capper off of it. Although HIMARS is probably going to have no trouble taking the point before any of these arm. Yeah, none of these mines are close to being armed at the moment. They are all just been deployed. Yep, HIMARS is going to retake C, giving the cap lead back to ANS. Rocket Strike attempt low from Quinto and Mav do a simultaneously Rocket Strike onto HIMARS' CLs here. Whiplash Raider Drive doing a decent job of dodging most of those. Some hits into one of them. Reactor's taking some hits there. Ammunition Elevator goes down. That is a FLF in the Raider Drive, although with a still decently fast work speed means that that CL is likely not going to be struggling too much for it. The Greedfords have moved off of A, as Cheeslayer is going to rush a capper in. The CLs are preoccupied with the Ruddles low. Are not going to be able to, or not really going to be in a good position to deny that, especially with Cheese now poking out to get covering fire into the CLs. Pretty good play from OSP here, putting pressure on the A deny tools, getting them off the point, and then putting a capper on the point when all of them have diverted to do other things right now. Notes his Greedford still trying to deal with the mines on C, just making sure that they are dislodged for later. The 120 sidearms doing a very excellent job, actually, of cleaning up these mines. In this amount of volume of fire, you can see how fast these mines are going down, as the massed RPF just is going to gut these things. Yeah, within a couple seconds, the mines are just getting destroyed. Pretty nice there. The Greedford's actually really good at dealing with these mine tactics. Mines laid on top of the CLs. The CLs still have point defense, so it's just going to be able to deal with them, unfortunately. A point. Cap 3 is still not spotted on A. Mine containers are already going out onto the A point to secure the objective here, although with the Greedfords in play, it's going to be real rough for OSP to try and hold these points. Quinto rushing some more Ruddles around the side here. Past the Greedfords, being tracked likely on Spyglass is what that track is. Some of the RPF now fusing. They get close enough. The track quality gets good enough, although Quinto is going to be able to duck into cover by Boxer here. HIMARS does still have a couple of gun cappers in the area here that are doing their best to try and run around the map and clean up these Ruddles, trying to help the Axfords as best as possible, although the Axfords are doing a really good job of just denying space away from all these Ruddles here. Notes clears the minefield on C and begins to divert towards A here, it looks like. The 120 sidearms are going to make short work of that minefield on A. HIMARS still with plenty of their caps left despite the Ruddle tactics that OSP is using. The CLs have taken a bit of fire here as they've been hit by the Ruddles, but not really too terrible. Quinto is going to step a capper onto the Boxer point here, simultaneously with a decoy putting on the point too. It's likely that ANS has already ID'd this as a decoy, although it's possible that it hasn't. Boxer's being secured. Quinto beginning to pivot. Looks like pivoting towards HIMARS' capper here. The capper does not have gun arc. Quinto is going to order a rocket strike and hold fire, as you do with Ruddles. Orient the ship. Turret turning. Rocket strike is out. HIMARS pumps on the brakes, trying to dodge here. He's going to take a couple of rocket hits there. Drive and reactor snipe with no restores is going to secure the kill on that capper. OSP steps onto Boxer and is going to secure the 4-cap for a moment here. Greedfords slowly but surely cleaning up the minefield on the A point here and doing their best to try and get through it so they can cap the point. Meanwhile, Cheese is ominously sitting by C point right now. Possibly have forgotten this capper. This capper is right here and it's not spotted. Cheeslayer knows that C is very open. Quinto is going to accidentally step off of B point here. No, their capper gets annihilated as they divert their other one away. The Greedfords are still in arc to deal with Boxer. The Greedfords here, a very excellent pick from ANS, are just able to deny territory so well with the secondaries here. MMT and missiles commit onto HIMARS' dead capper. One of them acquires the other one here. No point defense on this means that act command is going to miss. Target lock was not on in time. Quinto programming the rocket strike onto one of HIMARS' last gun cappers here, as Cheese Slayer is still just sitting by C for some reason. Dude, you're gonna get spotted by the Greedfords. You gotta move. Yep, there goes Cheese getting spotted by the C point with a little bit of a misplay from Cheese there. It's not really microing the ship. Likely microing other cappers right now or their liner. Poor Cheese. Our mines being deployed on Boxer. The Greedfords doing a pretty good job of covering the point there. The Greedfords have diverted their job from anti-frontline to anti-minefield. Boxer is starting to get secured again here as Mav steps a capper onto the point, once again under heavy RPF fire. Quinto electing to keep their ship in reserve here. Cheese Slayer's MMT on the flank here gets some pretty nasty hits, likely to RPF there. The drive going down as well as the center stack. Greedfords are starting to chew up Mav here. Mav needs to micro the DC teams to keep them alive here. One DC team down, the other one dead. That's a dead ship. Mines preemptively deployed onto Boxer, assuming the cap, but unfortunately for OSP, that's not what's going to happen. Skiff on station calls Cheese Slayer as their skiff mops up the majority of Falcon Squadron. This was the Backpack Fighter Squadron from the Axfords. A gun skiff. Pretty useful tech there, I guess. A multi-purpose tool. OSP steps off of C point. OSP not committing to C. The Greedfords pivoting over the top. Cheese gets wiped as Nuclear Ari just continues to go forward. You can see Ari now pumping on the brakes, recognizing that they went through the point. Some unfortunate cap plays from OSP mean that they're unable to secure those points that even if they sacrifice a ship for, they can still get, as Nuclear Ari is immediately turning around, although the Greedfords are already in arc. Mines being deployed now on C point here. Once again, OSP anticipating the cap objective take here, although their cappers just not committing onto the points. Mildly, one of Mildly's Greedfords and one of Bongi's Greedfords are now committing onto Boxer just to make sure the point stays in the ANS's hands here. It looks like Mildly and Bongi, their other two experts, are committing onto A. Notes is still up by C, attempting to deny the point from not Quinto, Nuclear Ari up here. Nuclear Ari starting to take some rough fire. Reactor Bloom from Mav clears up most of the mines. A second Reactor Bloom on C. That's going to destroy all of the mines on C point. Going to kill the capper, ensuring that C is firmly within the hands of ANS. The RPF from the Greedfords pulling absolute work this game, as they're just able to continuously cause reactor blooms, kill cappers, and just prevent OSP from getting a cap foothold here. OSP does still secure the cap advantage, although it is a very tenuous lead right now, considering where the Greedfords are and the fact that OSP has no ability to hold territory other than the mines, which are not really going to be as effective as they want against an actual frontline push. CL's now pushing up into A. The minefield is clear on A point. There are still some mines by the side here by Cheese Slayer's liner. Cheese Slayer's liner now pivoting, trying to probably get some fire on the CLs. We will see if Cheese commits here. Cheese with no fire orders yet. There we go. Cheese Slayer gets the broadside of one of the CLs at close blank range. Target lock with 250 HE is going to do some pretty impressive damage to this thing. Although this CL is already pretty gutted with its center stack mostly gone. The CL is now going to run into A point here, trying to get the point. Matic Mines now activate as they commit onto the CL here. Only flak to defend the CL. Chaff does go out, will be enough. Yes, chaff is enough. The mines get decoyed, though that was an active decoy. That would explain it. As the CL is just going to push onto the point here. One of the mines does acquire the CL. It is out of the arc of the decoys. More mines now going out, looking to finish off the CL before it steps onto A. The nose absorbs most of the hits there. The last 2 mines now triggering. Will it be enough to confirm the kill on this thing? It will not. It's up to Cheese to finish it off with the liner, although now Bongy with the Greedford now stepping onto A. Only the liner left on OSP to really hold territory here. The mine's not really doing a whole lot of work at all, unfortunately, as ANS kind of counterpicks OSP here with the team comp of all Ruddles and mines. More mines desperately being thrown onto A point here, although too little too late at this point. They will not have time to arm in time, as A point is going to quite easily swing to OSP here. Cheese Slayer forced back with their liner, recognizing that they can't take the fight between the 2 Greedfords. One of the CLs diverting, likely to dagger at this point to try and get the 4 cap on OSP. Cheese Slayer in disbelief that the CL is still alive. DC Locker in the nose, and RDAC Locker in the nose will do it. The Greedfords now committing onto Cheese. You can see how much damage Greedfords actually do against liners, as the 120s and 450s are going to absolutely chew this thing up. Drive is already taking some massive fire. Center Stack starting to take some damage as well. Casemates already becoming injured. CL from below opting to tag along as well into the liner here, as Cheese Slayer is unfortunately going to take a fight that they cannot win. Drives are going to go down any second now due to the damage to the 777. Yep, there goes Drives down in front of 2 Greedfords and a CL. Cheese is going to be pretty much wiped in a second here. Mav now throwing themselves, likely trying to pivot around towards C. Unfortunately, the Greedfords do catch them out before they're able to get around there. OSP with basically nothing left in the tank here, as the Greedfords are just able to clear the mines and destroy all of the Ruddles before they have much battle impact at all. Cheese Slayer getting absolutely torn apart by the Greedford here. You can see how, yeah, they're just absolutely, they're not winning this fight. More mines now probably just desperately being thrown onto any of the points right now to try and do something or other. However, one Greedford is currently locking down the Boxer point right now, preventing it from being capped. Cheese is just desperately throwing their MMT on the B, although it will not be able to take the point with the Greedford there. Bongy's now throwing their Greedford onto Dagger to secure the cap advantage here. A point has been secured. Greedford's on the point means that OSP is not going to be able to throw anything at it to retake it. Notes' Greedfords pushing over the top here by C are going to prevent anything from coming around to C to retake. Quinto potentially has the ability to do a back cap on C, although with the amount of points that these still healthy Greedfords can hold, a single back cap is likely not going to be enough here, as ANS with pretty minimal losses considering the all-Ruddle tactic. HIMARS, as expected, is really gutted here. A cap fleet into Ruddles and mines is not really going to be doing a whole lot. But the Greedfords here with the secondary 120 RPF batteries do an excellent job of clearing the mines and the Ruddles. Bongy detects the other CLN here. Secondary batteries are on target. 450s likely to follow. Yep, 450s are now opening up to destroy this thing. Mine containers. This is one of the SSJ containers being like desperately thrown to try and distract this Axford here, although the Axford has already committed. It's likely with a spyglass, this Axford has also already detected the mines, potentially. We will see. Without a without a para, it's unable to burn through, so it might not have seen them yet. Cheese Slayer now pretty much completely out of the fight. Mav with only one ship left. It is target locked on the C point here. Notes detecting the capper early with the Greedfords here has started to pivot them back to C, recognizing that a back cap attempt is going to be likely attempted here by what's left of the Protectorate. Bongi just continuing to take it slow on their approach to the dagger point. Even if they don't detect the mines, it's likely that they know that it is mines, considering what OSP brought as their team comp here. Quinto throwing a Ruddle onto Boxer here, although it is mags empty of rockets, so it will not be able to really do much. Just going to get gutted by the Greedford secondary batteries, as all Mildly needs to do is just sit on the point. Note's just continuing to hold space up top by C, preventing any pushes into it. I'm curious to see if Bongi knows the mines are here, as if they're gonna like commit to this engagement. Yep, there goes the secondary batteries onto the RPF. Bongi has detected them on sensors, knows where they are. Another reactor detonation on E point here, or sorry, on B point there. Nearly cooks Mildly's Axford here, although it is just out of range of the bloom. As this game is likely effectively already over, as the mines and the rockets just unable to get any work done at all in this game. The Greedfords doing an excellent job with their positioning. Once again, another reactor bloom. That's got to be like reactor bloom number 6, right? As A gets bloomed, both of the Axfords on A do get stripped of their armor, although it is probably too little too late for OSP to take advantage of that. No Ruddles left except for a few in the back line. Quinto commits a Ruddle onto a Greedford here. This one still has ammo left, but no, only 3 rockets, never mind. The Greedford does manage to core the CIC, as Quinto is going to be unable to take the Boxer point here. Notes, with nothing left to do, switches the secondary batteries onto the mines to clear the point. Mav now committing with a Ruddle onto C here. Does get spotted immediately after it comes around the corner. Notes is likely going to swap fire over to it. Yep, Notes with the immediate fire swap onto this capper here. As Mav, desperate rocket strike at long range here, trying to do anything to sort of distract the Axfords from the cap attempt. These are very long range, and even Axfords should have no problem dodging this. You can see this is double Raider whip build. Gives them very impressive maneuverability here as they dodge with... Oh, one of them is going to take a couple hits, although the armor is going to absorb the hit quite well there. Capper steps onto C point here. Cheese Slayer steps onto C with comms offline. Eats a bunch of mines. Mav is not microing the DC teams here, as they are just gonna, yep, the ship is going to go down here. Mines trigger onto HIMARS' CL here. Takes a bunch of damage. The mines do get the kill there. They do get the structure break. Although the CL is going to completely clear Dagger of all of its mines, allowing Bongi's Axford to just freely step onto the point here. ANS in a position where they can just sacrifice a ship to clear a minefield with nothing left on the board really for ANS to really deal with here. Only 2 ships are really keeping OSP in the fight here. One of them being a Ruddle, which does commit onto Bongi here. Bongi with a Defender in Arc does manage to destroy pretty much all those rockets, taking only very minor damage, and the Greedford nature of this Axford means it's just going to be able to mop up this Capper, take the Dagger point here, which leaves Cheese Slayer as the last really combat-capable ship on OSP. I think it would be really funny if Cheese Slayer turned off their comms right now, or turned off his comms right now, and just ate mines. Nope, never mind, they're just going to surrender. Tragic. Yeah, the all-in mine and rocket tactic is not really going to work out for OSP here, as 120 SPM is going to take round 1 here with the Greedford all-in. OSP's loss here, I think, is pretty self-explanatory. Greedfords are able to just hold territory super well against Ruddles, and we're just able to destroy them before they really got into position to deal damage. Able to deny cap objectives at 2 as well. The mine's not really able to do much either, given the Greedfords. The secondary 120 batteries are able to just deal with the minefield at range without risking the ships. As without any capitals, any frontline, any, like, proper CLN or carrier means that there's going to be no answer to the Greedfords. They're just going to be freely running around the map, stepping onto points, and holding territory as, 120 SPM takes it 1-0. We are on to the next match.